Green Bay Packer quarterback Aaron Rodgers to say he saw a UFO on a podcast. Listen to this.
It was definitively large in the night sky, moving from the left to right. Again, we're at like 12:30 at night here.
Yeah.
It was me and Steve and his brother that saw it, and it goes out of sight, and we look at each other and go, "What in the was that?"
That would probably be a pretty good reaction.
Make you do that? That's a natural.
Well, twin comets passed by Earth within 2 days of each other, but that wasn't the rarest part about the comets.
And how about this rare flyby happening today? NASA says a twin comet will fly by the Earth today. They could be interplanetary twins. So that means the smaller one could be a fragment that broke off of the larger one.
That means.
Yeah, so the smaller comet was discovered 2 months ago. The larger twin will pass near Earth today with a smaller comet following suit Tuesday. But the event will be the third closest comet flyby in recorded history. So a lot of people watching out, looking.
I was wondering what interplanetary twins meant.
I know you've always been asking, now we have answered
And I'm glad you
your
broke
question.
it down for me.
A meteor has been filmed in the skies above Britain, the second time it's happened in a month. It was visible in the middle of the night across the south and eastern parts of the Midlands.
Before I begin, please indulge me. I want to comment on the terrorist attacks that have taken place in Brussels. The thoughts and the prayers of the American people are with the people of Belgium, and we stand in solidarity with them in condemning these outrageous attacks against innocent people. We will do whatever is necessary to support our friend and ally Belgium in bringing to justice those who are responsible. And this is yet another reminder that the world must unite. We must be together, regardless of nationality or race or faith, in fighting against the scourge of terrorism. We can and we will defeat those who threaten the safety and security of people all around the world.
Obviously, when I woke up this morning and I heard the terrible news about Brussels, I felt a bit bad and sad about the fact that I was going to be doing a show. But I'm really glad we're all here, and we're all going to make enough noise so they can hear us from here, right? And we're all here for the same reason. I'm hoping you've all come to be entertained by me. I'm here to entertain you, so we're all united. So that makes us much better than...
We're hearing reports of an explosion at Brussels Airport.
I'm sad for the world the way it is right now. And it's only a beginning. There was France, there's Turkey, it's all over the world. And now Brussels, and it's never ending.
And Alex, the U.S. Embassy tonight now telling Americans in Brussels to shelter in place.
9:11 a.m., just an hour after the airport explosions, 7 miles away, another bomb goes off near the offices of the European Union.
A controlled explosion, no bomb. This is life in Brussels now, life during wartime, for that is what it is. And then there's Chad and Kimberly Wells' son, who was burned and hit by shrapnel. He's had a history of close calls. Wells was a block away from the Boston Marathon bombing 3 years ago. And he was in France during the Paris attacks in November. Now this.
He was extremely close to the blast, enough where he got burned by it. It said it's a miracle he's alive.
Now investigators are trying to find the people responsible. Tonight, authorities are investigating whether today's carnage was triggered by this raid 4 days ago. The one that took down Saleh Abdeslam, the missing attacker from the Paris attacks last November. Abdeslam allegedly rented the car that carried a group of terrorists to this soccer stadium. Abdeslam also rented the car that dropped off the ISIS gunman at the Bataclan Theater, where an American rock band was playing to a sold-out venue.
And this is yet another reminder that the world must unite. We must be together, regardless of nationality or race or faith, in fighting against the scourge of terrorism.
Tutti noi diciamo siamo diversi, siamo differenti, abbiamo differenti culture e religioni, ma siamo fratelli e vogliamo vivere in pace. Questo, tutti noi, insieme. Musulmani, indi, cattolici, copti, evangelici, ma fratelli, figli dello stesso Dio, che vogliamo vivere in pace, integrati.
Suspects. And David, you and I were out late last night. It was eerie. It was a ghost town. Police, heavily armed members of the military, and a few of us coming home trying to get a bite to eat. But it's obvious that Brussels here is still at its highest threat level.
And I went into the subway yesterday late in the day, and they were closing it early, and they had armed guards at every checkpoint. You had to open your coats before you could get on the subway here. So completely a different city after these terror attacks.
The Minnesota Senate today overwhelmingly passed a bill to start planning for high-security Real ID driver's licenses.
Yeah, if Minnesota does not comply by 2018, state residents won't be able to use a driver's license to get on a commercial aircraft.
Minnesota is currently one of only 5 states that have refused to comply with Real ID. They cite a government intrusion on personal privacy, but now the state has to change, or millions of Minnesotans could be having a very hard time at the airports. Without new tamper-proof high-security driver's licenses, many Minnesota residents won't be able to board planes or enter federal office buildings. But even the bill simply giving permission to start planning rubs some lawmakers the wrong way.
But what we are losing is another page or two of our personal privacy protection and the constitutional right to be anonymous in our society.
The federal government ordered new security identification after 9/11 as an added safeguard against terrorism.
The Real ID driver license is going to provide a chilling combination of personal data access and perhaps endless surveillance opportunities, either for federal government or for corporations.
Developing tonight, the U.S. government has been using spy drones for non-military purposes on U.S. soil. That's according to a new report. The Pentagon has done this for more than a decade.
So is this legal, and what is the government doing with this information?
It's very shocking. John Kerr III, Western Regional Director of the New York Civil Liberties Union, says now more than ever there's a need for oversight.
We need to have rules in place that protect us from the surveillance society. By that I mean a government that can track us, a government that can follow us, can follow our every movement, can look into our windows, hear our conversations, and peer into our houses of worship.
Terror in Pakistan. Dozens of people, reportedly mostly women and children, are dead after a suspected suicide bombing ripped through a public park. At least 60 are confirmed dead and more than 300 others wounded. The Pakistani Taliban has claimed responsibility and says Christians were the target.
Five bald eagles found dead in Delaware. Now neighbors and police are looking for answers.
Now all of a sudden they're
dying here, there, where's next?
5 of America's iconic birds were found dead in Sussex County, and a lot of people want to know why.
The mystery involving dead bald eagles appears to be growing tonight. Police are investigating the deaths of 5 more eagles in Delaware. This just weeks after more than a dozen were found dead on the eastern shore.
They're the symbol of America, and for some reason they keep turning up dead. This time in Delaware, where a man discovered an eagle was sick and called the Department of Natural Resources.
At the time, a single bird didn't throw any flags. A little bit later that morning, another officer received a call that there was several eagles. I believe there was 8 eagles in a field that were all on the ground, and that some of those eagles seemed to be in distress.
5 of the 8 have now died. The others are being treated at a rescue facility. This comes after 13 bald eagles were found last month just 30 miles away near Federalsburg in Caroline County.
Now, investigators are trying to figure out who or what is responsible. It's Monday afternoon. I'm Shari Williams.
And I'm Brian Taft. The big story on Action News today is the mysterious deaths of several bald eagles.
This would be unusual, but we don't normally see cases like this.
In Cocoa Beach, it looks almost as if you can walk across the thick carpet of dead fish filling some canals.
Oh my God, this is terrible. This is the worst I've ever seen it, and I've been in here since 1970.
And that's not just because there are so many dead fish. It's also because the dying is so widespread. A fish kill normally covers a small area, a pinpoint on the map. But right now, fish are going belly up from Titusville to the Pineda Causeway, from Kennedy Space Center to Patrick Air Force Base.
This is really quite a story, and it's new at 11 tonight. A photo snapped at a Vancouver Dutch Brothers drive-thru goes viral, and it reveals a human connection over a cup of coffee.
How are you?
Let's go.
This is a typical day at Dutch Brothers in Vancouver. Constant line and employees making coffee non-stop. Give me 2 more seconds. There we go. Have a great day. Last Friday, the work paused for just a moment.
She came up to the window and, explained kind of what happened, how her husband had passed away.
Without hesitation, the crew stopped, and together, they prayed over the woman.
We love people, and anytime you see someone, sad or mournful, it takes you 5 minutes to make their week, make their month, make their life. So it's a small price to pay.
Their prayers had one purpose.
We're going to give you that love. We're going to make you feel the joy that you felt once before. Like, it's still in this world and it still surrounds you.
It promises a peace it can't produce. It presumes a unity that is impossible. And then what we're learning is it paves the way for a one-world leader. Secondly, it presumes a unity that is impossible. Everybody wants us all to just get along. Can't we just be one? There can never be peace when evil people are the architects. Without Jesus Christ, there's no peace in the nation. Without Jesus Christ, there's no peace in the churches. Without Jesus Christ, there's no peace in the family. And without Jesus Christ, there's no peace in your heart.